The views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily the views of ECTV News, the City of East Chicago, nor this broadcast station or website. ECTV airs public meetings as a service to the community it serves. Speakers at public meetings, broadcast, or posted by ECTV News are solely responsible for their comments. ECTV News reserves the right to edit or remove any profanity or abusive language or behavior deemed inappropriate for our viewing audience. If you have any comments or suggestions about this program, contact ECTV News at 219-391-8206.
I'll call to order the regular scheduled council meeting for Monday, July 28, 2014. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos.
Present.
Battle.
Present.
Vasquez. Present. Cuevas. Orange.
Present.
Maldonado.
Present.
Arnold.
Present.
Parks.
Present.
Franciski.
Present. Madam Clerk, for the record, I did get a call from Councilman Cuevas. He still is out of town.
Okay.
First thing on the agenda tonight is to call to order the public hearing. Madam Clerk, ordinance, please.
Ordinance 14-0015, sponsored Mayor Anthony Copeland, additional appropriation ordinance.
Do we have someone from the mayor's office to speak on this?
Mr. President, members of the council, I didn't know I was going to speak on this. I thought Kim would be here tonight. I don't have the details on this, but I'd be glad to. It's a federal grant that we received. I can't give you the full details because I just don't know, but it's a federal grant, and we've got a local match available through the gaming funds to support it, and we would ask the council to appropriate the funds. And your packet may include the detail of the grant, but I just don't have it in front of me.
Yeah. Homeland Security.
Okay, Homeland Security. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, this is the bunk, I'm sorry. I believe this is the bunker gear for the fire department. I apologize. I believe this is the federal grant for the bunker gear for the fire department, which we requested. It's taken some time to get this project, and we've been looking forward to that, and so we would appreciate your support. Thank you.
Any questions from the council? I now open the podium to see who is for or against ordinance 14-0015. I'm now closing the public hearing portion of the meeting. We're now going to start our regular scheduled meeting. I have a motion to accept the minutes for the regular scheduled and public hearing on July 14, 2014. So moved. Motion was made by Councilman Battle, seconded by Councilwoman Vasquez. Any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos.
Yes.
Battle.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Orange.
Yes.
Maldonado.
Yes.
Arnold.
Yes.
Parks.
Yes.
Franciski.
Yes. Have any communications from the mayor?
No.
Any communications from department heads?
Yes. Accounts payable warrant 072814CC.
So move.
Second. Motion was made by Councilman Parks, seconded by Councilman Battle, to accept accounts payable warrant 072814CC. Any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos.
Yes.
Battle.
Yes.
Vasquez. Orange,
Yes.
Maldonado,
Yes.
Arnold,
Yes.
Parks,
Yes.
Franceschi.
Yes.
Accounts payable warrant 072814 LA.
So move, Mr. President. Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Vasquez, seconded by Councilwoman Orange, to accept accounts payable warrant 072814 LA. Any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos,
Yes.
Battle,
Yes.
Vasquez,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Maldonado,
Yes.
Arnold,
Yes.
Parks,
Yes.
Francisci.
Yes.
Payroll warrants 071814.
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Orange, seconded by Councilwoman Arnold, to accept payroll warrant 071814. Do I have any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos,
Yes.
Battle,
Yes.
Vasquez,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Maldonado,
Yes.
Arnold,
Yes.
Parks,
Yes.
Francisci.
Yes. Do we have any committee reports?
Yes.
Councilwoman Orange?
Mr. President and council members, the Finance Committee has been going through their department head meetings and talking to each department head through the Finance Committee. And each week on Thursday, we have gone through the departments through the city. We've learned a lot. A report will be forthcoming to you through email for everybody, that the things that we've learned in each department. Basically, what we were trying to find out is where each department is at this point, like halfway, a little bit over halfway point, what their plans are for the following year. Will they be able to meet their budget to the end of the year? So those are some of the things that we asked of them. And when you get the report, you will see some of the questions that were asked. So far, we've gone through Human Resources, the Law Department, the Marina, Recreation, Multimedia, Human Rights, Bus Transit, Information Technology, Planning and Economic Development, the Building Department, Public Works, Utilities, the Water Department, Engineering, and the Merit Board. Coming up, we have the Emergency Management, Redevelopment, the Police Department, Fire Department, Health Department, and the Controller's Office. So once you get the report, if any council member would like to have anybody else recalled, or you guys have any questions for anybody, we will set up a meeting so that you could meet with them. So if anybody has any questions for me, I'll be glad to answer them. Thank you.
Any other committee reports? Moving on to board reports. First, we have Mrs. Wanda Gordills with the Police Merit Board.
Good evening, President and Common Council. I am Wanda Gordills, Commissioner from the East Chicago Police Merit Commission, and I'm here to report on the Commission Board. The second group of police applicants that were chosen were sworn in on June 13th, 2014. There were 8, and they will be attending the Police Academy in Hobart on August 25th, 2014 for 16 weeks. We are in the process of emergency hire for certified police applicants, and the deadline was July 25th, 2014. And on August 1st, 2014, for certified and non-certified police applicants, that we will begin a new eligibility list. We are also in the process of promotional testing for sergeant and lieutenant positions. The deadline was July 16, 2014, and we have 38 police officers that will be testing for sergeant positions and 7 for the lieutenant positions. 2 of our commissioners attended the Finance Committee meeting last Thursday, July 24th, 2014, and also I have In regards to the disciplinary hearing on Officer Zasko, I'm here to give to the clerk for your view on the decision of the commission. And our next meeting is August 6, 2014, here in the City Hall chambers.
Thank you, Commissioner Gordillos. Any questions? Councilman Parks?
Commissioner Gordillos, just out of curiosity, with the emergency hiring, how many officers are you looking to hire?
2.
Two.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Henry Rodriguez, Waterway.
Good evening, Henry Rodriguez, council appointee to the East Chicago Waterway Management District. Just a couple of things here real quick. One, we were told by the Army Corps of Engineers that the 2014 dredging season has been completed. The contractors dredged approximately 204,000 cubic yards of material from the canal. We went on a boat tour sponsored by the contractors to see the dredging site a couple of weeks ago, and they were dredging right there at the turning basin, if you're familiar with it, where the ships come in, the barges come in at the mouth of the canal, and they were dredging right there at the familiar with Ispat Inland, where the cinder plant is. I know I worked there for 2 years. Also, too, 2 weeks ago, I dropped off this flyer here at your secretary's office, one for each of you. She said we put them in your mailboxes, and she would copy and email each of you a copy of this. What this is that there's a, it's called CARE. It's sponsored by the East Chicago Way Water Management District. It says, come learn about the multitude of restoration work currently taking place and being planned in East Chicago as part of the Grand Calumet River Area of Concern Remedial Action Plan. Like I said, I got this to you about 2 weeks ago. This is going to happen tomorrow from 12 to 4 at Post 369. Each of you was sent an invitation, so I know a lot of you work, so Mayor's going to be a speaker there, Army Corps of Engineers, and Indiana Department of Natural Resources, IDEM. Like I said, it's going to be about 4 hours long with a break in between for snacks at 369 tomorrow. That's all I got.
Any questions? Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. Next, we have Mrs. Cologne, the Library Board.
Good evening, Mr. President and the Common Council. I'm coming here today on behalf of the Chicago Public Library Board. There's been a lot going on with the library, and last time I came, I told you that I mentioned about the new library director. So today I'd like to give my time over to the library director so you can meet Miss Ophelia Roop.
Thank you.
Mr. President, members of the Common Council, thank you for the time. My name is Ophelia Georgiev Roop, and I am the new library director of the Chicago Public Library. There are so many exciting and wonderful new things happening at the library that I really have great difficulty telling you about any of them in the little bit of time I have. I was told I have 2 or 3 minutes. Libraries, in general, have always done the same thing, and we do it still the same thing, except we do it in a different way. Libraries are about providing to the communities they serve opportunities for lifelong learning, cultural enrichment, and improved quality of life. We have been doing this forever, and we continue to do this with new methods. And here are some of the new methods that we are using currently at the Chicago Public Library. Just to pique your curiosity, we are upgrading our technology to more efficient and effective ways to serve the community. One of those upgrades is our circulating system to check books out and other materials such as videos and to bring them back in. We are also focusing on providing homework assistance to kids and to helping the library patrons to use the reference resources that we have. They have been underused, and we're going to invite you all to come and use them and show you what we have. We are also hoping to have basic computing classes for the general public in the future, in the near future. Another upgrade that we have is we have the Nooks now. We have the e-readers that are loaded with a number of books on them that you can check out, read whatever you want, and then bring them back in. So I would like to invite you all to come in the library and see the exciting changes that are going on. Actually, come into any library location to see those changes, and also please use us. We want to be used. That's our goal. If you have any question, any research question, call us, come into the library. We'll do it for you, especially for the council. We will do any research you need. And also bring your children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, neighbors' children. If you're teaching your students, send them to the library, because we have exciting ways of providing them with homework assistance, which is something that is really needed in any community. We also hope to focus on literacy, and as you know, reading is still the most important survival skill in the world. And we hope to focus on that sometimes in the future. And that's it. Do you have any questions? Yes?
Councilwoman Maldonado?
I have a question. Will you be providing any classroom visits to the classroom for any kind of literacy program?
Our youth department is scheduling classroom visits. So any teacher from any school should contact our youth department. We want children to visit us. Once they visit us with the teacher, then the teachers are to encourage them to come back to do their homework, and we will provide this homework assistance.
Does it follow? Will you be sending anyone to the schools?
Yes. We are going to be hiring a new children's librarian, someone who has a master's degree in library and information science with focus on children's services. And either that person or our youth librarian will be doing the contacting. And we hope to have the children from the Franklin Academy come to the library, and we hope to have some sort of a structure to provide them with some type of programming, a learning program, as opposed to just have them roam around the library freely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Clerk, any ordinance on first reading?
Yes. 14-0014, sponsor Mayor Anthony Copeland, an ordinance authorizing the insurance of taxable economic development tax increment revenue bond series 2014 Lakeside Gardens project of the city of East Chicago, Indiana, the proceeds of which shall be provided to the company to support the financing of the acquisition, construction, rehabilitation, installation, and equipping of economic development facility located in the city of East Chicago, Indiana, providing for the pledge and assignment of revenues for the payment of said bonds, authorizing a project agreement with respect to the bonds and to the project, and authorizing other actions in connection with the issuance of such bonds.
So moved on first and second reading.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Orange, seconded by Councilwoman Vasquez, to hear ordinance 14-0014 on second reading. Have any discussion on the motion? Councilwoman Orange?
Mr. President, this is a project from Lakeside Garden Apartments. As you know, Lakeside was probably built maybe 30-some-odd years ago, and it is in dire need of updates. They've had a couple of fires there, and there's a new company that's coming in that has purchased that property and would like to update it. When we had our committee meeting, they did show us pictures of how they would update it. They gave us some information. The attorney for the project is here, and so if any of the other council members have any questions, I'm sure she'd be glad to answer them.
Any questions for the attorney? I don't know, like Councilwoman Orange said, we did go through everything on our workshop.
Could you come and introduce yourself, and then my colleagues could.
President, Common Council. My name is Laura Anderson. I'm with the Millennia Companies, and we are under contract to purchase the Lakeside Gardens Apartments and have great plans to renovate and rehabilitate and make the lives better of the residents there. Any questions?
Councilman Parks?
Just two questions. Excuse me. What is the price to acquire the property, and what do you plan on spending to rehab?
The price is approximately a little bit over $13 million. That's just straight purchase price, but the investment that we're putting in is about $36 million.
Any other questions? Thank you. Madam Clerk, roll call to adopt ordinance 14-0014 on second reading.
Santos.
Yes.
Battle.
Yes.
Vasquez. Yes. Orange.
Yes.
Maldonado.
No.
Arnold.
Yes.
Parks.
No.
Francisci.
Yes. Madam Clerk, next ordinance, please.
Ordinance 14-0015, sponsor Mayor Anthony Copeland, additional appropriation ordinance.
So moved on first and second reading.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Vasquez, seconded by Councilwoman Orange to hear ordinance 14-0015 on second reading. Any discussion on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call to adopt ordinance 14-0015 on second reading.
Santos.
Yes.
Battle.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Orange.
Yes.
Maldonado.
Yes.
Arnold.
Yes.
Parks.
Yes.
Francisci.
Yes.
Ordinance 14-0016, sponsor Mayor Anthony Copeland, transfer of appropriations.
So move on first and second reading.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Parks, seconded by Councilwoman Vasquez to hear ordinance 14-0016 on second reading. Have any discussion on the motion? Councilman Parks?
Chief Burbidge?
Good afternoon, John Verbish, Deputy Chief, East Chicago Police Department.
Only one question for you. How time sensitive is this?
I don't think we're going to get that until, I don't know if we have to pay for it first before the guy comes. It's for the, some of it's for the rental of the FATS machine, firearms training simulator, and I think that's set up for October.
Any other questions? Thank you, Chief. Madam Clerk, roll call to adopt ordinance 14-0016 on second reading.
Santos.
Yes.
Battle.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Orange.
Yes.
Maldonado.
Yes.
Arnold.
Yes.
Parks.
Yes.
Francisci.
Yes. Madam Clerk, do we have any ordinances on second reading?
Yes, 14-0013, sponsor Mayor Anthony Copeland, additional appropriation ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Orange, seconded by Councilman Parks, to hear ordinance 14-0013 on second reading. Any discussion on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call to adopt ordinance 14-0013 on second reading.
Santos?
Yes.
Battle?
Yes.
Vasquez?
Yes.
Orange?
Yes.
Maldonado?
Yes.
Arnold?
Yes.
Parks?
Yes.
Francisci?
Yes. Madam Clerk, do we have any ordinances on third reading?
No.
Do we have any resolutions?
Yes, 14-0011. Sponsor Mayor Anthony Copeland. Resolution of the Common Council of the City of East Chicago, Indiana, approving the order of the Plan Commission and actions of redevelopment commissions, amending the lakefront development area.
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Orange, seconded by Councilwoman Vasquez. Any discussion on the resolution? Madam Clerk, roll call.
Santos?
Yes.
Battle?
Yes.
Vasquez?
Yes.
Orange?
Yes.
Maldonado?
Yes.
Arnold?
Yes.
Parks?
Yes.
Francisci?
Yes, resolution passes.
Resolution 14-0012, sponsor Mayor Anthony Copeland. Resolution of the Common Council of the City of East Chicago, Indiana, approving the order of the Plan Commission and actions of the Redevelopment Commission, establishing the Lakeside Gardens Economic Development Area.
So moved, Mr. President.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Vasquez, seconded by Councilwoman Orange. Have any discussion on the resolution? Councilwoman Orange?
Steve, can you just explain the reason why we had to have both of these, the ordinance and also this resolution?
I assume you meant me, Madam Councilwoman, as you looked into the Steve corner.
Forgot about the two.
Steve Dalton, financial advisor to the council. These two resolutions are your acceptance of actions taken already by the Plan Commission and the Redevelopment Commission. In short, a few parcels were taken out of an existing allocation area. They're being bifurcated and moved into their own standalone allocation area for this project that you were just hearing about the apartment complexes that'll be upgraded by $30 million. The TIF, the tax increment that comes from those parcels, will stay inside that allocation area, and they will be used for the financing that was just voted on prior on the ordinance.
Any questions? Thank you, Steve. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos?
Yes.
Battle?
Yes.
Vasquez?
Yes.
Orange?
Yes.
Maldonado?
Yes.
Arnold?
Yes.
Parks?
Yes.
Francisci?
Yes, resolution passes.
Resolution 14-0013, sponsor Councilwoman Christine Vasquez, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of East Chicago, Indiana, granting American Crossroads Group LLC an assessed valuation deduction tax abatement for tangible real property under Indiana Code 6-1-1-12-1.
If it pleases the council, the abatement committee would prefer that resolutions numbered 13 and 14, the next two, be postponed or tabled, however action you'd like to take. There's a little further research that we'd like to do on that.
Councilman Parks?
Before we do that, just a couple quick questions on them. Maybe I can get the answer on. Mr. Bennett, where are we financially, city-wise? Are we looking at a shortfall? Are we going to balance? Where are we at?
For 2014, we believe that we are in balance. And, you know, we never know the exact number until we get the December distributions, but at this point, we actually believe that we will be funded in the general fund, our operational funds.
So how fiscally responsible is it to be giving out abatements, approving abatements of this size?
I think we should be very careful about those abatements and make sure that what we are abating is a project. In other words, what are the details of the project? What are we building? What's it going to cost? How much increment is that going to provide? And I think once that's all determined, then I think there should be a recommendation that, you know, to move forward with it. I think these kind of projects can be good for the city once we find out basically what they all include and what the benefit to us is as far as employment and how quickly. I see this is proposed as a 5-year abatement. I think under one of these resolutions it says 5, but next to it says 7. You may want to correct that.
Right.
I had to get you, Steve. But I do think there's some projects here, and Lakeside Gardens is a perfect example. If I could talk about that for 1 second, that's a part of it. The one thing that's kind of unique about the Lakeside Garden project and the TIF that we're doing, that TIF allows for a growth factor. In other words, the average growth factor for the last number of years that the states allowed the units of government to grow. Now, Lake County was exempt to that until they adopted the income tax, but it was average about 2.5 to 2.7% per year. This TIF, the way it's designed, our growth factor's up to 3%. In other words, if the state average is 2.7 and the way the rates work, we would rebate the difference between the 2.6 and the 3%, basically, or if there's an excess payment. Kind of how this is working is there was some discussion as to how the assessor would assess this property once it's been constructed. There's 2 types of way of doing that, and if the assessor goes one way, the taxes would go up dramatically, which would actually make this a project they could not do with their investors. We had this same kind of incident with the apartments, the North Lake apartments, but we met with the assessor and got that worked out to where it was assessed as we believed it should have been. And again, the increments go back to them. In this case, we have a growth factor. There we didn't. So on the Lakeside Gardens, I think the good part about that is there will be additional tax increment to the city and to the units of government within the city. On this 5-year abatement, I just think we need to know what we're abating. I mean, we're abating real property. What are we abating? What's the project? How many jobs is it going to be? What's the benefits that going to bring back to the city? I think once we know that, I'm not saying it's a bad project. I think we're always looking for good projects. And I think since we've got the income tax, that's really made a difference in how we can treat abatements and TIFs. If you'll remember, I was absolutely against all of them up until that implementation, because now we have other sources to bring in income, the income tax, and some of the other, the tax caps, the BP plant's now in place. We're going to take a big hit next year, which is what I thought you were going to get to, because we are going to take a financial hit next year. But after that, the growth factor there is incredible. And the city growth on maximum levy comes back to be pretty realistic as it was a few years ago. So are we in good financial shape today? I believe we are, and I would hope that we stay that way. So we'll work hard to do that.
Councilman Parks?
Unless there's any other questions, I'll make the motion to table resolutions 14-0013 and 14-0014.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Parks, seconded by Councilwoman Orange, to table Resolution 14-0013 and Resolution 14-0014. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Santos?
Yes.
Battle?
Yes.
Vasquez? Yes. Orange?
Yes.
Maldonado?
Yes.
Arnold?
Yes.
Parks?
Yes.
Francisci?
Yes. We have any old business? Councilman Santos?
Mr. President, I believe it falls under old business. It can be either or, but Madam Clerk, if you can send a letter to the police chief and CC a copy to the mayor. This week, as I was driving into work, I happened to catch a radio show, and I happened to overhear the person in charge, or one of the persons in charge of the Pierogi Fest, and how he had mentioned how safe it was going to be at this fest. And what caught my attention was that he had made mention that our regional stop team was going to be at the Pierogi Fest. Now, I believe our regional stop team was headed by Chief Becker, and at no time, I don't remember him, and I may be wrong, telling this council that we were going to be utilizing that regional stop team in that kind of way. I believe he told us it was going to be utilized in the worst, high-crime, drug-infested communities. Now, the last time I checked, none of those criteria fit the Pierogi Fest. That brings thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. And as I heard the radio show, I called in, and there was also another fest that supposedly this same very stop team, this aggressive special unit, was at. Now, I'm not saying that them cops aren't doing their jobs. I just find it, I can't understand why would we be utilizing such a team, such a unique group of gentlemen that target these crime at any type of festival. I know that here in the city of Chicago, we have told anybody that wants to have a festival at the parks that they are responsible to police their festivals, that they are going to have to hire overtime police officers. And by all means, I know that there's a lot of cops that want to work overtime, and they're willing to work these festivals. But for us to be utilizing the stop team at a Pierogi Fest, and then you pick up the paper from this weekend, and you see that there was a murder on Alder and on Catalpa, and then on the south side of East Chicago, and then Hammond, 3-shot in Hammond, people being murdered in Gary. Somebody's going to have to explain, why are we utilizing that type of team at these festivals? Now, with that being said, there may be an explanation, but at this point, I don't know. So I would like the Chief Becker to come before the council and explain to us what festivals they're working, how many hours, and why. Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilman Parks?
Just to somewhat continue with Councilman Santos, I don't think the question so much is why were they at those fests. I think the question should be why weren't they at Calumet Day, which we had here in our own city, and police there were heavily outmanned. I mean, I don't have a problem with the region stop team. It is a region stop team going other places, but I just think if it's headed by our chief of police, home should be taken care of first.
We have any other old business? Moving on to new business. Steve?
If I could bring up Jim Bennett and Dan Bowditch, they have a report to submit to the council that is required annually to be accepted from the Redevelopment Commission.
Mr. President, council members, the Redevelopment Commission is required by statute, recent statute, to start providing annual reports to the council and to the administration. And that it has to be presented to the council by August 1st. We have copies to present to you tonight. We would ask that you accept them, and then we'll follow this up and file this with the state agency through the Gateway program. So we'll be providing you with a copy of this. If you've got questions, Dan, I believe, prepared it on behalf of the Redevelopment Commission, and we just ask that you accept these so we can move forward with reporting it to the state. If you have any questions with those, you can contact myself or Dan, and we'll be glad to answer the questions. Go ahead, Dan.
Okay. Just 1 minute, and I Council President and council members. Just 1 minute overview. Generally, the report is required by statute to be submitted by the Redevelopment Commission to the fiscal body, which is the City Council, before August 1st. The report includes the activities of the Redevelopment Commission for the year ending December 31st, 2013. So when you review the report, remember it is for the prior year's activities. It includes information based upon the Redevelopment Commission officers, the members, the officers, as well as resolutions that were passed, the funds for the Redevelopment Commission ending for the year, again, December 31st, 2013, and includes a listing of all the individual components or the real property key numbers in each allocation area for the Redevelopment Commission, or that the Redevelopment Commission has designated through last year. So I do have copies of the report. I will leave 10 copies for you to review. And as Jim did state, the statute is clear, and it states that it's to be submitted to the council prior to August 1st, which we have done. The second request is that the council review it. If they have any questions, to contact Jim or myself, and we will answer those. And then that we would ask that the council entertain a motion to accept the report. Once accepted, we will update the gateway system with the information that's included, as well as all the key numbers, so that that is current, and that needs to be done by October 1st. So you have a couple months to do that, but I don't see any reason why you would delay it more than 3 to 4 weeks. So I will drop these off for the clerk.
Yes, you can leave them with the clerk.
Yes.
Thank you.
If there's any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them now. If not, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Do you have any other new business? Moving on to public expression, if you could please keep your comments to 3 minutes. I believe we do have one, Mr. Clemmy Jones.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I wasn't going to speak tonight till I heard that someone has bought Lakeside. I don't know if you all have went over there and looked at the buildings, but they're wrapped. The same like those they got over here at Washington Square. They're repairing them now, because that stuff is nothing but tar, paper, and stuff designed look like brick. That's what they got over there at Washington Square. Now you all going to loan them money to buy the buildings, to rehab them. They didn't have enough money to do it themselves. We claim we don't have enough money for our kids to have summer jobs this summer, last summer. Only a few kids had jobs. If you can borrow money to do that, but you can't borrow any for the citizens of East Chicago, something wrong with that. But our mayor sponsored an ordinance. I walked downtown yesterday, the day before, all week. Main Street work, ain't none of us doing. Every job that's been done by the city, I'd very see 1, maybe 2 blacks, 3, 4 Hispanics. Even the laborers' jobs, don't take much skill to be a laborer. Those have been done by whites that do not live in East Chicago.
You have 1 minute,
What he
sir.
needs to do is start getting on his job. And some of these council members need to get on theirs too and start watching and stop looking up in the sky. It's down on the ground. Thank you.
Thank you. A motion to adjourn?
So move. Second.
That was too fast. Motion was made by Councilman Parks, seconded by Councilman Battle. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos.
Yes.
Battle.
Yes.
Vasquez. Yes. Orange.
Yes.
Maldonado.
Yes.
Arnold.
Yes.
Parks.
Yes.
Francisco.
Yes. Thank you. Good night. No.